What's going on, guys? My name is Aldenero and welcome to episode number 87, I believe, of my Leicester City career mode on FIFA 15. We're starting this episode off with a game against Middlesbrough away from home at the Riverside. Did we play Middlesbrough last season? I don't think we did. I think we played them the season before. They did come up to the Premier League, then they got relegated, and now they are back again. And they were actually quite difficult to play against whenever we played them. Like, it was never the walkover that I wanted it to be, because I do love playing against teams who are so much worse than us, and we can get a lot of goals against them and stuff. But obviously I've been struggling with FIFA recently, and Middlesbrough were always quite difficult to play against, despite the fact that they were consistently hammered by the AI. But Middlesbrough had the first chance of the game, and then we went on a counter-attack as a result of that. Their corner kick, when Jonathan Williams dispossessed one of their players in midfield and played the ball into Villalba, who gets around Ayala quite easily and then gets into a really good shooting position. And I think the old Villalba would have scored that, but this new Villalba, the new guy who's taken his place, is just not so good when it comes to scoring chances like that. But Julian Brand sets up Jonathan Williams in the 50th minute, and he easily puts us into the lead with a nice goal. He's actually been quite good, Jonathan Williams. I was really disappointed when I first saw his rating, but he seems to be playing like beyond the capabilities of that rating, so that's pretty good to see. Also, I have a question for you guys at the start of this episode, and it is, who do you guys think is going to get relegated in real life in the Premier League? Just speaking of Middlesbrough getting relegated in this game and all, because Leicester at the weekend against Aston Villa lost like what feels like their 19th game in a row, and having had a really strong start to the season, they just haven't really built on that at all, and it just doesn't look good for them, and I kind of get worried that they're going down. I really hope that they don't, but yeah, I was just wondering what you guys thought about it. What teams you guys think are definitely going to go down this year? That would be quite interesting to see. But check this out in the 77th minute, the weirdest red card I've ever seen, as Fredericks gets sent off. Now, I had the game paused, and I unpaused it at this point when Fredericks just, I don't know what he even did. I think he went to DDT Villalba, but here's the replay of it, and this is a red card according to the referee. I don't really... That reminds me of the Scott Brown-Kyle Lafferty incident in an Old Firm game once, when Kyle Lafferty kind of dragged Scott Brown's head into his chest, and then Scott Brown was sent off, and it was very odd, but that's what that looked like, except in this instance it would have been Kyle Lafferty who got sent off. So I don't really know what to make of that incident, but it's definitely the weirdest red card I've ever seen. And now we look at the squad report, as we are officially into December, which means I think we only have 5 more games, or 6 more games, 4 in the league, 1 in the Champions League, and that adds up to 5. So yeah, I think it's 5 more games, and then we're officially into January, so we'll have the transfer window to look forward to. Sorry if you can hear my heater in the background, it's making a lot of noise at the moment. I'm going to turn it off. It's just really cold. Like, I have one of those rooms that's the box room of the house, and it has 2 outside walls attached to it, and it's like minus 17 in my room right now, and it's fucking ridiculous. Anyone who's in the box room in their house will probably understand how difficult it is. But yeah, the squad report, I don't really have anything to say about it, but I am looking forward to January, because if we do make it to the next round of the Champions League, which isn't a certainty yet, because Sporting Lisbon could definitely beat us, leaving us finishing 3rd in the group. But if we make it out of the group, we'll get about 10 million added onto the transfer budget, and we've got 17 million already, so that'll give us 27 million. We'll probably have to adjust some of it for wages to give us a little bit more, because Hector Villalba actually comes to me here and he says that he wants a wage increase, and I'm thinking, like, well, you've not really played as well as you did last season, but anything to keep Villalba happy. As you can see, we have 94 grand in the wage budget, and he wants an increase of 30 grand, so that goes down to 64 grand plus 27 million would be the budget if we did make it through, which would mean that we'd have to adjust the wages a little bit, but that still gives us a fair amount of money to work with, I think, when it comes to bringing in new players. But we go into our next game of the episode, and it is against Crystal Palace. This is at the King Power Stadium. Now, Palace have always been a difficult team for us to play against as well. We used to have a really weird record against Palace, where we'd beat them in the league after they dominated us on possession, but every time we met them in the cup, they would absolutely destroy us in the cup. But after 7 minutes in this game, Barry Bannon plays the ball into Basufa, whose shot goes just over. It would have been a very kind of an ambitious and very interesting goal, but I thought it showed that effort nonetheless. Then in the 12th minute, Ince comes forward, and he does manage to find the back of the net, and he has really added goals to his game now. Like, I think before the patch on FIFA, if you cut inside like that with the Ronaldo chop or whatever, which I do a lot, I do really abuse the Ronaldo chop, as you can see another instance of it there from Tom Ince. It's easier now to cut inside from the wing than it was before the patch, and I think that that's definitely true. Like, I definitely know that to be a fact because of the game mechanics and the way that if you were running in from the wing before, you would always have a player who runs alongside you and gets in that block, because that was one thing that frustrated me about the game, was how easily the defenders come in to block certain chances before you can even press square or circle or whatever it may be. So yeah, that means that the wingers are now getting more involved in the game, and I think that's why Hector Villalba has kind of been left out in the cold a little bit, and why it's been very difficult for him to find the back of the net since that's changed. And I think that makes sense. Like, I don't think that's in my head. I think that's a fair thing to say, but I don't want to talk about it too much as if I'm complaining about it, because I'm actually not. Like, I actually think as much as people moan about the patch or whatever, I think it's good that the game is a little bit dynamic in its mechanics, and that, you know, I'm not just playing the exact same version of it that I was playing at the start, because surely, going by that logic, like by February or something, I would have reached the point where I can beat anybody anytime. But we got a goal in the 51st minute through Danny Ings, and I thought that was a well worked goal. It was a cross and a header, and we don't really tend to score a lot of those, so it's good to see that, and it's good to see Danny Ings getting on the score sheet as well, because his first season at the club has been I don't know, satisfying, if not, like, I don't know, it's been a little bit kind of not what I had expected, I suppose would be the way to put that. But we got a header in the 78th minute through Villalba, saved, and then Palace came forward in the 80th minute with Apia's ball coming in to Binom Williams, whose shot goes away over. But the save from Jack Butland seconds before that was pretty good. And then we come up to the 88th minute of the game with Jeffrey Schlupp picking the ball up in a pretty good position before he takes on Binom Williams and gets into a really good position to score, and does find the back of the net. And I fucking love Jeffrey Schlupp. He's just such a hero. But we did really well in that game, and we end it with a 3-0 victory, which I think we deserved overall. And we're still unbeaten in the league. We're still marching towards that league title for the second consecutive time. And overall, things are looking pretty good. I'm really hoping, though, that we get a job offer, or, you know, I'll be able to apply for a job of a really like a really kind of big team, a big club. No disrespect to Leicester or anything like that, but when it is time to move on, I'd like it to be a big club that we move on to. But our next game is away from home against Sporting CP, and this is going to be a difficult game, and I knew that going into it because of the way that they set up. They have a very, very good squad, but we have a good squad too, and I changed my formation a little bit for this game, going back to that 3-5-1 that has served us so well in terms of games where we have to counter-attack, because I remembered when Sporting did come to Leicester, they were incredibly difficult to play against, and we got a 1-1 draw against them. So I had a fair idea of what kind of team they were and what kind of way they chose to go about keeping possession of the ball, and that's why I set up for the counter-attack, because I didn't think I could take the game to Sporting easily by just doing what I usually do with the 4-4-2, so that's why I did that. But in the 11th minute of this game, they got a corner, and the ball came to Oliveira, whose header was saved in spectacular fashion by Jack Butland. Carrillo tried to keep the move alive, but eventually we did get a really good tackle in, and we managed to clear the ball. But Sporting came forward again just 13 minutes later, with Bettino's shot being saved by Schmeichel, and then John Stones almost like really surrendering a goal for the club there, but Bettino's shot went wide, and then 5 minutes later they came forward once more with Bettino's shot hitting the post this time, and Sporting just really piling on the pressure here. Remember, a win for Sporting sees them through, so they have like got everything to play for here, and the way that FIFA 15 is done, it's that teams recognise that and they respond to it with better play, more attacking play, and better passing and everything like that. So I knew this would be a difficult game, but at the start of the second half I actually changed my formation a little bit to make it a little bit more attacking for us and a little bit more wing play involved, and I also brought on Mike Leite, and then we come up to the hour mark of this game with Villalba getting through on goal, and he gets brought down inside the box, and the referee sees fit to award a penalty, which really did take me by surprise, because the game had suddenly turned on its head since I changed my formation, and Sporting hadn't done anything going forward, and it was us who were creating the chances. But Lopez definitely felled Villalba, but I think that was outside the box. I think that's a really harsh penalty, but Hector Villalba steps up to take the penalty nonetheless, and he sees it hit off the post. It comes back out to Leite, his shot is saved, or Traore's header gets tipped over by the goalkeeper, and Sporting stay alive in the Champions League and still have the potential to make it out of the group. Then Divock Origi comes forward in the 72nd minute, his shot put wide by the goalkeeper. But I couldn't believe that we missed that penalty. Like, it's not really like me. I think I've only missed 2 before that. Luis Muriel missed one at one point to get a hat-trick, and I think Villalba maybe missed the other one. Yeah, he did, yeah. I think that's it. I think we've only ever missed 2 penalties, and considering that we get a penalty in every single game that we play, that's actually a pretty decent return, I think. But in the 95th minute of this game, Silva picks the ball up. His first-time shot was saved by Jack Butland, and then we end with a 0-0 draw. Now, I wanted to get the victory there to top the group and finish top of the group and, you know, make it out against a team who would be, who'd finish second place in their group, but I'll take the draw given how well Sporting played, so it's not a bad result overall. But that is the end of this episode. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please do leave a like. That would be much appreciated. I've been El Dinero. Thanks for watching.